Okay, hello everybody. My name is Troy Anderson from KettlebellFatLossTrain.com. We've had a lot of talk over at our Ning site, kbfatloss.com, about kind of where to start. A lot of the people over at the group there have had questions about, I haven't used kettlebells, or I'm fairly deconditioned, or I have a lot of weight to lose, and I kind of want to know where to start. So this little segment is going to be called Pre-Kettlebell. We're actually going to take a look at, if you have kettlebells already, great. If you don't, this is kind of going to be kind of a precursor that I use with some of my one-on-one coaching clients and my class clients. You can see here I have a few different tools set out for me. Very, very inexpensive. Obviously, we love to have the kettlebell. The kettlebell is a great tool we talk about a lot around here. But in this instance, you don't necessarily have to have it. If you have it, that's great, and we can use it in some of the programming, but you don't necessarily need it for right now. So let me grab a second one so I can show you if necessary. So we're going to basically talk about 4 or 5 different drills that are very specific to getting you ready for kettlebells. The first of those drills is to kind of re-educate ourselves about bracing, and it will be very beneficial and a lot of carryover to what's called power breathing, which actually Josh is going to put out a video on the site here pretty soon. But we're going to take a look at what's basically a plank. This may seem very redundant, it may seem a little bit boring even, but plank is kind of where it all starts as far as learning how to brace the body. All you're going to do is be flat out on the floor, elbows underneath shoulders, squeeze butt hard in the ground. I can't emphasize that enough. Squeeze the butt hard as you can, and then lift off. And you can see almost automatically you start shaking if you're squeezing your butt. If I relax my butt, it automatically goes away. Squeeze the butt, and it's good there. Plank. So you're going to want to work up to at least a 90-second single hold plank. You can do that progressively, starting with several sets of 30 seconds or whatever's appropriate to you. Next drill is going to be to learn how to squat. I like to use the medicine ball for this. I would say most people that are really in the deconditioned state are going to probably want to start with around between an 8 and 12 pound medicine ball. I have an 8-pounder here. We're just going to start with the goblet squat, which we talk about a lot with the kettlebell. Goblet squat's just going to be held chest level. Holding at chest level is going to help us hold this nice, good vertical posture. From there, we're just going to knees wide, weight on heels, hips back. Pushing down into a good squat position. I'll pull my pants up just a little bit and get better, so I can get some better depth. Push it down into a good position. So I'm holding it at my chest, I'm not flipping it away, I'm not leaning over with it. Just chest up, pushing out. Weight on the heels. If you're doing real well with this, you shouldn't have any clicking or creaking in your knees. You should be actually loading the backside of the body and letting it do a lot of work for you. So here we go. That creaking is the Velcro in my pant pocket. So that's the second drill. Third drill, you don't need anything. We're just going to work on a nice dynamic movement, hopefully to help you open up your hip flexors and to work some single leg strength. A lot of people have a lot of issues single leg strength wise, so I like to do a drop step lunge. It's much easier to drop into something in this instance than is to step forward and stabilize it. So we're just going to stand as such, and all we're going to do is take a big step back. We're going to squeeze this cheek real hard. I'm going to go arm up the backside leg overhead, and I'm just going to go down to the degree I can. We're not bending and bailing out with the back knee. While that's fine, in some instances we're actually trying to use this for dynamic stretching, trying to put some emphasis on the front leg. So as such, and then come all the way out of it. So drop step back, arm up, down, as such. Let's show the other side. So I'm going to show this. So it's going to be drop the right leg still, arm up, get your balance, change elevation, and back up. You can start with anything as low as 6 repetitions per side with those. You can even use a support. I'm not sure if you can see it, but like a power rack or a wall to support your arm for your balance if you really have a tough time with it. And you can work on up into 10, 15 repetitions with that. So we've got plank, squat, lunge. Now let's go ahead and go into an overhead press. Since pressing is such a critical part of kettlebell work, we want to get familiar with it. I also like to help my people get a little bit familiar with moving their body in space where they're pressing. This is a pretty simple, basic movement. We're just going to start with dumbbells. You don't even need your kettlebells. If you have kettlebells, great, but if not, not a big deal. All we're going to do is we're just going to step, open up, pivot, stabilize, and press. Back down. This is just to get us out of that mold of those of you that have used machines or shoulder presses, used to banging things out just to work on pressing from the proper manner. It was just holding the chest up, getting good posture, having good balance and pressing. Moving into this split position helps us to focus in on that automatically. So that's that simple. If you got kettlebells already, feel free to use them for that portion of the movement. It's about the only thing you're going to need for in this pre-kettlebell program. So maybe between 4 and 8 repetitions going each direction equally. I recommend rotating to maybe your non-dominant side so you can kind of even that out, because you're going to feel a little awkward going one way or the other depending on what handed you are. Our last drill is a drill I like to use to start to mimic and prepare the body for the ballistic movements. I call this a total body extension. It's basically kind of like a medicine ball swing. All we're going to do is we're going to have the medicine ball. We're just going to relax our arms. Arms are just connecting the medicine ball to the body. They're not gripping or holding. And we're not using the arms to propel the medicine ball. We're using our body to propel the medicine ball, which is the key concept behind snatches and cleans and high pulls and swings and all the great ballistic drills we have. And we're just going to try to lay a base layer of that down. It's worked very well for some of my class clients, so I wanted to share it with you. So here we're just going to push back into our hips just like we would if we were using a kettlebell. Got this nice angle here, not too much knee bend. We're not squatting down. We're pushing back into the pants. You can feel your pants get nice and snug on the back side. You've got a good thing going. You got the hamstrings loaded up like a rubber band, relaxed arm, and then we're just going to extend up. Nice straight line. We're not going to have any bend left in the body. It's going to be all the way straight and push to the heels, and then push back automatically, and here. Up. This is going to move pretty slow initially, and then as you get more comfortable after a couple workouts, you can really speed it up. And then if you get a little more comfortable, you can add a heavier medicine ball. And then, hopefully, we're ready to put you in to some of your kettlebell movements. But this is the base pre-kettlebell movement I like to use for developing the foundation, the movement patterns, for those of you very unfamiliar with it, for doing swings, high pulls, snatches, and such. It works very well, people. Give yourself a progression. So here's our 5 drills. Plank, which is on the floor, right? Then we go into squat. Then we go into lunge. Then we go into press. Then we go to total body extension with the medicine ball. 5 drills, 5 basic drills. Be very progressive. Start easy. Progressively challenge yourself as you move through them. Hopefully this has been good for those of you that are kind of in that intermediate area, not quite sure where to start at, not quite sure where to get into the kettlebell at, maybe a little bit hesitant about it. Some of the movements may be a little scary for you, and you don't have a coach to teach you along. This progression step here should help you make a nice, smooth, safe transition to the kettlebell. Should make it a great experience for you. So hopefully stop by kettlebellfatlosstraining.com. If you want to have a conversation, come on over to kbfatloss.ning.com. We'd love to talk to you over there. Have a great day.